Hi guys, this is Leo for Poker Strategy, and today I'll be making a short stack video for you on No Limit 25 on Party Poker. And this is going to be a session review where I review an earlier played session on 4 tables. And yes, it's going to be mainly aimed at beginning short stackers, and I'll be focusing on the starting hand chart and how to use it in different positions with different actions in front or after you. And yeah, I hope you can you learn a bit and maybe start using the short stack strategy yourself. So let's start off with the ace king on the top left corner, top left table. And ace king is a really strong hand, so let's see what we need to do here. There's we're in middle position. There's a blind poster here, so no raises in front of us, and we should just get the starting hand chart and see what we need to do. So here we go. We were in middle position, as I said. We just go down to ace king, which is here, and at the cross section it says raise, re-raise. So we can just make a normal raise here, which would be 4 big blinds, but because of the dead money from Jorgish, we need to raise to 5 big blinds, which is $1.25. And yeah, we just wait and see if we get any action on our ace king offsuit. So no action, we win the hand. And yeah, there's a quite an interesting hand on the top right table. We've got pocket sevens, and being in a pocket pair, it's quite a good hand, as you know, especially pre-flop. But there's a raise and a re-raise in front of us, and that makes it really hard to play these hands. So let's get the starting hand chart again, and let's have a look. We're in the big blind, so we're in the blinds, and we go down to 7-7. At the cross section it says we should raise. So if there would have been any limpers or just normal limpers and no raises, we could have just made a normal raise here. But because there's so much action in front of us, clearly we need to fold here. 7-7 is just not good enough, and you're gonna lose far too often. So we can't do anything with that. Alright, so a little bit later in the session we get king queen offsuit on the bottom right table. We're in the blinds, we're in small blind there, and well, we need to make a decision here. As we are first to act, or first to make a decision, because everybody folded, we're first in, and as we just need to look at the starting hand chart. And again, we just look at our position first. We're in the blinds, and we've got king queen offsuit. King queen is right at the bottom, and it tells us we can make a normal raise. So yeah, there we go. Just raise it up to 4 big blinds, being $1, and let's see what happens. We get re-raised, which is really interesting. I mean, I remember from when I just started playing short stack, I would be really inclined to call here, or maybe even push, because I'm just it's a strange raise in it, and I'm a curious guy and I want to know what he has. But the starting hand chart tells us we should fold here because of our stack size versus raise size ratio, and this is really the best play. So I'll show you how this works. As I mentioned, we need to look at our stack size versus raise size, and well, the stack size is always the remaining stack, being $3.75. The raise size is our original raise, and that's $1. So looking at the starting hand chart, we've got this little thing here, which tells us what we should do when somebody raises behind us after we raised. So, just somebody re-raising us. We look at the stack size versus raise size ratio, and we were at 375 to 1. So that's right between this 4 to 1 and 2.5 to 1. And the range stated there tells us we can't push king queen. If the stack size versus raise size ratio would have been 2.5 to 1 or lower, kleiner is lower, then we could have pushed it, because it states we can push king queen there. But now we can't, so we have to make a fold. And I can't imagine you having a bit of trouble doing that here. But really, you're gonna lose so much money if you make plays like that. It's really important to just keep tight on your starting hand chart, because otherwise you're just gonna lose too much. Same goes for that pocket twos. You just need to fold that. It's not on a starting hand chart, so it's a clear fold. On the bottom left, we've got king queen offsuit, and now we're in a different position. We should have raised it. We should have raised it last time, which we've done, obviously. Though we had to fold to a re-raise, but now we're in middle position. So let's see what we need to do. Here's the starting hand chart again. We're in middle position, and we go all the way down to king queen. And it says we need to fold. So here you can see that a lot depends on your position, and the reason for that is that there's just many people who need to act behind you, and as there are more people who still need to make a decision, the likelihood of them holding a strong hand becomes larger as well. As there are more people, the likelihood of them having a strong hand is just a lot bigger. Because, for example, if you'd be on the small blind and everybody folded, there's only one guy who could hold, let's say, for example, pocket aces. If there would still be like 7 people behind you, there would be 7 chances on pocket aces. So the chance would be just a lot bigger, and the fold is there for the best play on in that position with king queen offsuit. So that's the reason why you should play a bit looser in late positions and play a bit tighter in early position. There's really no point in deviating from that, though you might feel inclined to do so a little bit, but really don't. If you want to, just ask on the forums, and advice is free there, so do use that, and do ask whether or not a certain play you think would be better, would be profitable in the long run as well. Right, a little bit later in the session, we've got pocket sevens on the bottom left table, and pocket pair being a strong hand again, just like last time. Just need to make a decision there. But because there's already a raise in front of us, we by this sax we'll have to look at what we need to do here, whether or not we should re-raise or we should fold. So being in the blinds, we'll look at the last part here. We go down to 7-7, and again it just tells us to raise. So an easy decision here again, though you might be inclined to call or to push as well. I mean, these are both options, obviously, though folding here just costs you 10 cents, and really is the best play there. So let's zoom out. We get a lot of interesting hands all of a sudden. I'll just pause it here. At the bottom right, we've got pocket tens. At the bottom left, we've got ace king suited, and the bottom at the top left we've got ace jack offsuit. So let's first start at the bottom right table. We've got 10-10 here, and we're in early position. So let's take the starting hand chart. We're in early, we go down to 10-10, and it says we should fold. Again, this might prove hard to do. It might be hard for you, but it absolutely is the best play. And the reason again is that there are so many players left behind you that just folding here is really the best option. There's no point in pushing here. So there we go, fold. Alright, bottom left table we've got ace king suited, and there's only one limper, and as we already know we need to raise ace king, so we're raising it up to 5 big blinds, and that's because there's one limper, just 4 big blinds for the raise and the 1 extra for the limper, and we win the hand there. Now I'm pausing the video again because I want to go to the top left screen. As you might remember, we had ace jack offsuit there, and there's a lot of action. This guy, the big blind, he just raised right after we folded, but here from under the gun somebody made a raise. There's a call area, and there's somebody who pushes, and that obviously shows a lot of strength. So our ace jack, although you might be tempted to call, which again I can imagine, a fold is absolutely best and absolutely the most profitable in the long run, and I will show you why. There's a little program you can use called Equilator, and right after this hand is played, we'll just get that hand through Equilator and show you what actually happened. There's an ace here on the flop, and it meant we would have hit our top pair, and some people get really sick about these kinds of things, but it doesn't matter if you hit or not. The decision is made pre-flop, so that's where we should look at. And you can see the guy here having pocket kings, and we made a really good fold. Obviously this play with ace-3 is really weird, but we made a really good fold here because we're far behind against the kings, especially with this guy having an ace as well. And let me just show you how that works. So yeah, the Equilator, I've already put the numbers in here, is the ace jack offsuit, his ace-3 offsuit, and his king, and obviously he's far ahead of pre-flop. It's just we're just lucky the ace hits on the flop. But if you look at your game like this, you should play every hand, and obviously that's gonna cost you a lot of money, so there's no point in doing that. So yeah, we'll get ace king on the top left table, and we need to raise there. Because of the limper, we just raised to 5 big blinds, 4 for the normal raise and 1 for the limper again. So there we go. And let's just see what people decide to do this time. So the yuppie here calls, and we hit our top pair, top kicker. And with top pair, top kicker, we've got a made hand, and we have to go. We have to try and go all in, because we only have such a small part of our stack left in comparison to the pot. we're going to have to push it all in here, and we'll be alright with that. Even with the small bet from Yuppie, we can just push it all in. So there we go, and we get called and get paid off nicely. So yeah, he hit his bottom pair and we'll win the entire pot. So nice one there. As you've doubled up, I would just recommend only playing hands like aces and kings, nothing else, because you just doubled up, and it's really important to still keep your maybe even tighten up a little bit more. I'm getting an interesting situation bottom left. Got ace king suited there, and we get a just a mini raise from under the gun, and this situation you might come across quite often. So yeah, let's have a look at what we should do. Let's get the starting hand chart again and see what we need to do. We're in an early position, and having ace king, it means we should re-raise a raise in front of us. So yeah, just a re-raise here, and the re-raise is going to be 3 times his bet, so 3 times 50 cents, and that would be $1.50. So there we go. And we get re-raised. So yeah, now we're gonna look at the stack size versus raise size ratio again. Our stack size is 340 and our raise size is 150. So we're about 2 to 1. And looking at our our starting hand chart, we're about here, and as you can see, it actually doesn't matter what kind of ratio you have, because ace king is everywhere. You can just push ace king if you get re-raised straight away. It doesn't, no worries there. So yeah, an easy push here, and we flop 2 pair, which is great. And against this 9 line, it was a coin flip, and we win. So quite a nice result there. So we've got some new tables, and at the bottom left we get king queen in middle position with the limper in front of us. And let's just get out the starting hand chart again. So we're in middle position. We go all the way down to king queen, which states we need to fold here again. So even though you might think it's a strong hand, it's really best to fold there. And that's what we do. So about a hand later we get king queen again, which we have to fold again because we're in an even earlier position. But at the top left table we get ace king offsuit, and which is a raise, which we've already seen. I won't show you again. You should have remembered that. I think there's a limper in front of us, so normally we would have raised 5 big blinds, but now this time there's this ever raised guy who raised 5 big blinds, and it's quite interesting because now we have to take out the starting hand chart again, go into the blind positions where we are sitting at the moment, and we go down to ace king, and ace king is a raise and re-raise. So even though there's a limper, there's just a raise in front of us, we should just re-raise there, and normally would raise to $3.75 because that's 3 times his betting amount. But because that's such a large proportion of our stack, we have to push it all in, and yeah, so we do. The limper folds, and now it's this ever raise guy's turn, and yeah, he needs to make a decision against our push. So it's a really good hand to push in these situations. Ace king makes you a lot of money normally, and you should certainly push in these spots. And even though he folds, it's really nice. The bottom right might be. I'll just pause it for you. Might be interesting as well. We were sitting in at the big blind, and we had a free play with our king 3 offsuit. On the flop, we get top pair no kicker, and even though there's a really small bet of 25 cents, we just have to fold there. We've got a trash hand, and we can't continue playing. We can only play with top pair, top kicker, or 2 pairs, those kinds of hands, but not with top pair, no kicker. It's just not strong enough. So really remember that kind of those kinds of things, because it might seem profitable in 1 or 2 or maybe 10 situations, but if there's only one situation there where it's going to cost you a lot of money, it's not worth it anymore. So yeah, just stay tight is my advice. Right at the bottom right table, we get pocket sixes, and we have to fold it. It's not on the starting hand chart. I'll show you. It's not on the starting hand chart here. So even though nobody's raised and we're on the dealer button, which might speak for a stealing situation, as we would call it, especially on the lower limits up until no limit 25, you need to fold these hands. On no limit 50, there might be some some different options for you, but just playing according to the starting hand chart is by far the most profitable way of playing on no limit 10 and no limit 25. If you're playing on a higher limit, just you might make a play with that, but without reads, and especially without stats, you really shouldn't. Alright, a couple of hands later, we get as you can see, we get king 7 on the bottom left table in the big blind. There's a limper from under the gun, and well, we just we get a free play here, and we get top pair, no kicker. We can't bet here because we haven't got top pair, top kicker, or better, and therefore we just check. The undergun limper, he bets right after, and we have to fold. Right, on the bottom right table, we've got ace queen, and yeah, let's just pause it here. This is a situation where you might want to might feel you want to push, but ace queen is just too often dominated, and I'll just pop in the starting hand chart here. As you can see, ace queen is only, you can only raise them. You can't re-raise them, just because the point is that you're dominated just far too often. And there's a raiser, 2 callers, and folding here would just be best. So there we go. I do have to give you that it's a hard fold. Alright, top left table, we've got king queen, and we're in late position, so let's bring in the starting hand chart again, and we're in late. We go all the way down to king queen. There's no raisers in front of us, so we can just make a make a normal raise, also because there aren't any limpers, so we can just go to the 4 big blinds, and we'll raise it up here. So we get called by the small blind. The big blind, he folds. We have a really nice flop. We hit our straight, and there's a lot of cards which he could have hit, but we do have to bet here. I mean, we don't want to get outdrawn or anything, so we just bet here, and we bet like $1.50, which is a little bit less than half of our remaining stack, and we hope we get re-raised or called, and we get well, he folds, and we pick up the pot. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think there's been quite a few interesting hands. The session really maybe a fair bit of profit, and I hope you've seen that as well. So yeah, all I wanted to show you that tight is the right way to go. Just try to play like the starting hand chart advises you to play. It might be hard sometimes, but it really is the best way to play. If you have any questions, just post them on the forum or leave a comment. And yeah, thanks for watching. This was Leo for Poker Strategy. Goodbye.